Hey everybody, my name is LaPrecious and welcome to my channel. Let's talk with LaPrecious. So today I'll be doing a sushi mukbang. So I decided to go to Harris Teeter with my mom this morning after we got done washing clothes. And this is the sushi tray that I bought today. Hopefully you guys can see it real good. Let me hold it up to the camera. Got the sushi rolls and the little sushi, not sushi, but the shrimp covers and everything. That's pretty much what sushi is raw fish. So that's raw shrimp on the top. And then you got it's some wasabi. Yeah, they got the little dot of wasabi over here as well as this stuff. I don't know what this is called. It's sweet and it tastes like not an onion, but it's some type of rubbery vegetable. I don't know, but I like it. So I'm going to be eating my sushi today while I talk to you guys about my current love life situation. So I know I've done like YouTube videos on Match.com, which people still comment on to this day, even though I did that video like a year ago or so. And I've done videos about how to attract love and things of that nature. I forgot I gotta be careful with the soy sauce because it is, a little salty. So, and sushi is kind of salty, but I mean, that's Japanese cuisine for you because a little bit I do know about the Japanese cuisine is that a lot of the stuff that they eat sometimes has a lot of salt in it and whatnot. So you have to be careful when you eat it. And before I do my live, let me go wash my hands. Okay, y'all. So I'm back now since I washed my hands because whenever you in nasty places like the laundromat nowadays, you got to keep clean due to this coronavirus. So here we go, going in, and this looks really neat. Like look at how that sushi looks. Got the avocados and the fish in there. And it's gonna be real tasty when it go in my mouth. See? Mm. I love sushi. I love sushi. Before I tried sushi, I used to be a little skeptical of eating it. But I decided to go out on a limb one day and say, I'm gonna try some sushi. So let me go ahead and try it. Ever since then, I've liked it. Hey, beautiful magic. So yeah, so we eating sushi today for our breakfast. And since this is a pretty big platter I got, this probably gonna be the only thing I eat anyway. Then I might stop by McDonald's or wherever and get me a cup of coffee and let that be my meal for the day. Because due to the coronavirus and people just being nasty, like y'all, I work in fast food and we wear gloves whether we a cashier, cook or not. Just to keep clean because that's like the standard thing now. I know I fell asleep on my live. I did not mean to. And YouTube called themselves trying to play me by removing my video. They removed it because I used the Where is the Love picture from the Black Eyed Peas single cover, and that's why they removed it. YouTube, they always want to send these long letters beating around the bush saying, we pulled your YouTube video because it violated guidelines, blah, 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 blah. And it's not that we're striking your channel. It just happens to, I'm like, why can't y'all just tell me y'all removed it because of the picture and show me how I can do that or not do that the next time? Like YouTube nowadays is just really extra for no reason. We already know like they have the thing about children, keeping children safe, making sure your content is for children. If it's not, you have to mark it before you upload anything. And I hear from people, especially with Lovely T, like when she does her political videos or videos about different world issues, she says that YouTube won't monetize it and they block it. So that's just the day and age we live in now where certain people can have any opinion they want to, but when you're another kind of person, you have to have censored opinions or views or not say nothing at all. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ugh. Ugh. I'm gonna try this little fake, not fake, it's real. I'm gonna try this shrimp piece because I never had this before with sushi. The usual sushi I get is like the California rolls, but this is my first time like eating the raw shrimp like this. All right, this is how it looks. I've seen people eat it where they take it and dip it in the soy sauce. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's good. Mm. Real good. Had to give me some more of this. Really should learn how to make it. I've made Asian food before, but never like sushi. Sushi, all sushi is rice, raw fish, and sesame seed and wasabi, as well as other things. And it depends on the kind that you make. I've made sesame chicken and Korean dumplings with the Korean sauce by this Korean YouTuber. I can't think of her name. She's really cute. She's like an older lady who became really popular. I think her name is Mangchi. But yeah, she's made a lot of good Korean dishes, and I learned how to make those Korean dumplings by her, and they were really good. The spicy tuna roll I've never had before. I've only had this kind in the California roll, but never the spicy tuna. I didn't touch that. But another kind of sushi I did have one time was raw tuna. Sushi, pretty much, I've heard is raw fish. I would have to look at the definition of it. So I think if you're eating raw fish as well as with rice, they consider it sushi, but I could be wrong. But like I said, I have to look into it. I'm more into Latin American culture and cuisine than Asian culture cuisine, unless it's Indian. I'm really well versed on Indian food, so I could tell you more about that than Japanese. I used to be very in touch with Japanese culture, but since I've been so into Spanish and the Latin stuff lately, due to me studying interpreting, trying to get in that field, I've just forgotten a lot of Japanese stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna actually save this a piece for my grandma to eat because that shrimp piece was good. So pretty much what I was gonna talk about last night on my live before I embarrassingly fell asleep while I was in the bed in front of everybody. So let's talk about dating and what I'm looking for right now. So you guys have pretty much heard me talk about, my different dating experiences and whatnot, and what it is that I'm looking for, and my F boy era and all that kind of stuff. I've officially decided to stop online dating because I'm just really tired of having the same experiences. Like I've gone on Badu, I've gone on Zeus, I've gone on eHarmony to a extent, but you gotta pay out some money. And I already done paid match like $100 or $200, and that was enough of my money wasted. So I didn't even bother paying eHarmony for anything. I think I just did a free trial, and when it didn't work, I left them alone. I've done plenty of fish. I've done Hinge. I've done a cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever that app is called. I think it's called Coffee and a Bagel. And when you get on it, they give you free like coffee beans. And then if you want to keep using it, you got to like pay more money to get more coffee beans to talk to people. Tried that. That didn't work. The only thing I got was like good conversation and promised dates, but then they never fell through. And then, and so then I have been on, let's see, what other apps? I done been on so many, I about forgot. Me Too, I've been on there. And I've tried Tinder, but never really stayed on it long enough to figure out, what it was or whatnot. But Tinder, I feel like is a thing of the past, and I've never really trusted Tinder due to all the horror stories about people meeting up with people on Tinder and ending up dead somewhere on the side of the road or in a ditch. So Tinder was not for me. So I never tried Tinder when Tinder first came out. But now, what I do is go on chat rooms. Yes, I know chat rooms is a thing of like late 90s, early 2000s, but they do still have chat rooms. I use chat rooms mainly to talk to different people, especially in Spanish. I only go on like Latin American chat rooms and rarely American chat rooms, or I go on Desi or like Middle Eastern and Indian chat rooms to just talk to people and learn about their culture and things like that. So those are the chat rooms I go on. But the chat room scene, I like that better because in some chat rooms, people do upload their pictures. Sometimes they don't. And yes, you do have to deal with sexual harassment, people sending you links to porn pages or nude pictures, or they're giving you like freaky scenarios about what they want to do to you, how they want to see you do it on camera. But other than that, you can meet some decent people in chat rooms sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. I actually like that now better. But due to the travel bans that the United States has with other countries, due to Trump, and now due to this coronavirus, putting everybody in pause mode, it makes it really hard for people to communicate and connect. So I just stick to myself now, and I just talk to men and whatnot on chat rooms and just fill them out, or just become friends, or maybe have a rendezvous if I'm in the mood for it. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm just really tired of sex. I usually don't talk about my sex life on my dating channel. I mean, if I say dating channel, on my YouTube channel because my sex life is my business and I don't want a whole bunch of people in it. But I've talked about sex on this channel before. But I really am tired of having sex. I've had, some exciting sexual experiences and sexual experiences that I wanted and that I was pleased with. But I'm just tired of it. Like, I'm really ready to be in a relationship and in a marriage and, have kids and things of that nature. Like, that's something I've always wanted since I was a child. Now, I was raised in a single parent home, didn't really like it because I didn't have a father figure, that I could talk to and relate to and be able to learn things from and stuff. And I didn't have that. But also, I just wanted to have like two sides of my family where, I have my mom's side, my dad's side, and we all come together and could just grow like a family and whatnot. And that's something I've always wanted for my kids. So that's why I never really had kids outside of being married because that's just something I didn't want for my kids. So that's why I don't have any. So now the issue I'm dealing with is men that I like either not being attracted to me, not talking to me, or not even knowing that I like them. And men that I just don't want nothing to do with being interested in me. Now, I had some fine men be interested in me that I wasn't interested in. Yeah, I did give them a chance, but I just wasn't in the right mindset at the time to really be with them like that. So, it didn't work out. But lately, I done had some like rough looking carpet dog crackhead look at me. And I know that sound mean, but hey, just be into me. I'm like, why are you talking to me? Like, I don't even look run down or wore out or nothing. And I'm just not interested in trash looking men like that. And even on dating sites and websites, and that's why I've just become so done with all of this dating and stuff because I'm just not able to find the kind of man that I'm looking for. Because the kind of man that I'm looking for, and I'm not ashamed to talk about the kind of man that I'm interested in, because some people on YouTube, they say, well, I don't tell people what I'm interested in because people will try to bring you down and dim your light and all that. I'm gonna tell y'all something on YouTube. I know who's for me and I know who's not. And can't nobody block my blessings or steal my joy, because when it's all said and done, it's enough men out here for everybody, gay and straight. And it's enough money out here for everybody, enough jobs, everything. So as long as that's the case, I don't see why anybody needs to be jealous of me, trying to get what I'm getting or nothing. Now, one thing I won't do is tell you how I'm getting until after I get it. Because you can actually miss out on your blessings, because people know how to think a lot faster than you do, especially if they got more connections than you do and know more people than you do and things like that. So sometimes you can mess yourself up telling too much and telling where you getting this and where you getting that if you don't got it yet. So I may be open, but I'm not that open. But the kind of man that I'm into is somebody who is strong, wise, sincere, compassionate about life. They're a hard worker. They're not, excuse me, they're not lazy. They take care of themselves. They want a good life. They love to travel. They love talking to people. They enjoy being happy. They love being positive, and they're in shape. They take good care of themselves. They are financially stable. They're wealthy. I want somebody who got money. That's not being a gold digger or nothing like that, because I've worked since I was 19, 20 years old. And even when I didn't have a job, I always had food and I always had clothes in the bed to lay my head in. And even if money was getting low, I got out there and got a job. So I always had money in my pocket. And I want a man that has that same type of mindset where he's not going to be okay with struggling and eating on food stamps and not being able to afford rent and things like that. And and I'm gonna just be honest, people watching this live may scrunch their nose and say, "Well, what you mean about food stamps and all that?" Food stamps ain't it. I've lived off food stamps before, and I don't like nobody telling me how much money I can have for food or how much I can spend. I don't. Like, if I work hard to make my money, I want to be the one telling me what to buy, when to buy, and how much to buy of it. And and I want a man that thinks the same way. Plus, plus, when it comes to the kind of man that I'm interested in physically, I do like talking to men that are from other races. I've spoken to Arab men, Hispanic men, white men. I used to not be into white men like that, but I gave one time a chance, and I don't know. Every time white men be interested in me, they be fine as I don't know what, but they just very narcissistic. And I don't understand why. I'm like, is it something I'm doing that's attracting them to me like this? Something I said? But yeah, like I said, they be fine as hell, but they just, ooh, uh, ooh, it ain't too bad, but ooh, oh, it's wasabi. Mm, mm. Ooh, ooh, out. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. This wasabi a little too strong for me. Mm-mm. But this little stuff right here is good. But it tastes real garlicky like and ginger like too. I can't eat that with that spicy stuff and I ain't in the mood for that this morning. I don't have nothing to drink to go with it either. So anyways, I like men that come in all colors and stuff. White men I just can't do. Like I said, they be fine the ones that try to talk to me and stuff, but their attitudes just be off the chain and our conversations only last maybe a week or so before we end up falling out. Like for real. Well, I can't deal with no man that got attitude and then he's gonna tell me what to do. So that's why I can't talk to him. Now, black men, I've just never been interested in black men. I used to be when I was a child because when I was a child, I just liked whoever I liked. My first celebrity crush was Usher, and then as time went on was Daddy Yankee, Rick Gonzalez from Coach Carter, Adam Rodriguez from CSI Miami, and Carlos Oliveira from Menudo. Like those were my crushes. And and I've talked to Arab men as well. But my only issue with talking to men that I'm interested in and whatnot is getting them to be interested in me enough to want a relationship instead of being interested to have sex. Because sex is good and everything, but I'm not interested in that all the time. And I just really wish that I could get into a place that welcomes interracial dating on a level headed perspective instead of just oh, we met, we fell in love, and that's that, and you can't control. Like, in Winston-Salem, we have mixed couples here more than we used to, but they're not all that easy to get into. It's like, right, I want an emotional connection as well as a sexual connection because I'm gonna be honest, I like to have sex, but I want the man that I'm with sexually to be into, well, being into me sexually ain't never been a problem with the men that I've had sex with, but I just want us to like match sexually and for there to be that emotional connection, like you said, and for there to be genuine feelings afterwards instead of just wham bam pain and that's it. But I just wish I could be in an environment where if you date interracially, it makes sense and you don't have to be like either hood or ghetto or just whatever, just to be with somebody of another race. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all, and y'all might get offended at my lie, but it is what it is. But I know why in Winston now, this ghetto ratchet stuff is just becoming so popular. It's like the being loud, the being ghetto, chasing after men and stuff all the time and not doing the right thing. It's just becoming the norm here. And sometimes it does make me feel a little bit insecure because I see these girls that are not what everybody thinks is prim and proper or girlfriend material. They get men like it's nothing. And and I watched plenty of videos about, being yourself, being a queen, being a goddess. And it's like men, for whatever reason, they're just not looking for that, or maybe the caliber of man I'm into, excuse me, ain't looking for that. But it just seems like the ghetto girl could just get the man around the corner, the man up the street, the man in the office, and even the mayor if they wanted to. And it's like regular women just can't seem to get that. And it's kind of messed with my spirituality a little bit because I've been I've been praying. I've been, manifesting a lot of things in my life, but when it comes to a relationship, I've just never had that much success in it per se, being an adult. Like I said, my dating experiences haven't been that negative, but I just want to be with somebody that's going to end up being my husband. Right, for real. Because I just don't understand why men just have to play games all the time or they don't want to be serious or the woman has to not be interested, for him to be interested in her, and then she has to not like him. Like, why can't we just like each other together? And instead of it being all about a game or whatever, why can't we just, try this out and see? And I watch a lot of the black influencers like Chloe, Chrissy, and I'm about to build on my teeth, y'all. See, but eat it up. But I just don't get it. And then, Chrissy, I watch Chrissy and Chloe, and they talk about hypergamy and how women should dress and talk and carry themselves, and about how it's not only about your education, things like that. I agree with Chloe to an extent, but some things that she says I disagree on. Like, it's not about your college degrees and your education and whatnot that's going to get you a man. I'm like, Chloe, you pretty much teaching women that all they have to do per se is to be pretty and smart and level headed and they can get somebody. But I don't like how she doesn't break down how there are certain types of men that go after certain types of women. And plus you got some women that just got it like that and some that don't. And that's what she don't really understand, because that's why I don't idol worship a lot of these gurus and great thinkers and inspirational teachers, even these YouTubers, because they're not gonna give y'all the game for y'all to get over on them, because they know that it's a lot of other women out here other than them that's the shit and probably can get 1 million followers while they can only get a couple thousand. And they know that it's a bunch of other women that could probably get, you know, 100,000 views while they could only get a couple hundred and all that. So they may be telling y'all and teaching y'all, don't be jealous of this girl and don't be hating and all this and that. But when I email you, and I'm gonna be honest, I have emailed a lot of these big name YouTubers, DM'd them and everything, and even asked them questions in their live. Well, how did you get your start? Why did you start modeling? How could I become a big YouTuber? No response whatsoever. But you want to say you're for the community and for the people and for your women of color. But when one of your women of color that's trying to do a come up and a startup like you did, you won't give it a game or you won't give it the steps and stuff because you don't want nobody knowing your moves. Now, I know I just said earlier on that I wasn't going to tell how, but I'm not there yet. So I'm not going to X myself out before I get there. But a lot of y'all big name YouTubers and influencers are already there. So why can't y'all give the steps? And this is why a lot of people can't get on and can't really get to the levels that they can, because you do have a lot of people influencers blocking the way for a lot of people that can get it. And I mean, that just is what it is. And everybody called out Nikki for blocking other people and stealing other people's bags and stuff. But it's a lot of y'all so-called sedity and well-to-do women that's out here blocking other people's bags and stuff too, because you want to be the only one carrying something. And that just is what it is. So, but yeah, Chloe, she's just very, I just feel like basic sometimes in her stances with dating. Now, Chrissy, I like her better because she tends to dig a little deeper. And yeah, everybody done said, why you want to listen to somebody don't show their face on YouTube? I care less about that, because we all know that as black women sometimes, especially if you look a certain way, your face just not going to get you the views and sometimes the moves that you want. So sometimes being incognito has its perks. And plus, our ancestors did that. For example, with a lot of the heavy hitters in Black history and a lot of the frontiers and forefronters, they hid in their racial ambiguity, because most of them, like Thurgood Marshall, Rosa Parks, and Frederick Douglass, they wasn't even all that black. So by them being light skinned and having the long hair and stuff, that earned them a lot of places and a lot of spaces that probably dark skinned and cold hair people probably couldn't get into. And then another thing was the man that invented the gas mask. I can't remember his name for the perfection of me, but because it wasn't Marcus Garvey, it was somebody that invented the gas mask and the y'all probably know who it is, but he invented the hair relaxer and he invented the gas mask, and he was racially mixed. He was Native American, African American. And so he said the only way he could sell his inventions to the white people was when they did exhibitions and presentations. He dressed up like a Native American. And due to his features and his hair being that of a native, he was able to sell his stuff to white people and get his name out there. So people complain about that, black people included. But when we look at our history being incognito and dipping and diving sometimes it helped us because if not, a lot of us wouldn't probably have the opportunities and the options and the inventions we have now if it wasn't for that. Because as black people, sometimes we just have to understand that we can't move like certain people. And yes, you do have blacks that are privileged and they don't go through the struggle like a lot of us do sometimes. But even with them, they know they can't say stuff and whisper stuff and come out the bag with stuff like that because they know that they'll lose their spot too if they act the opposite of the status quo. But, I like Chrissy because she goes more in depth and she gives a good explanation as to what's real and what's not, but she also gives strategic advice on what to do for your situation. Chloe, I just feel like she gives you good scenarios, but she has a whiskey way of dealing with it. It's like, oh, Drea dropped a picture of this rapper from the UK that said, just fine. You're moving in your masculine energy if you do that. You're moving in your masculinity ways if you do this. And this will learn women to not learn how to do this, blah, blah, blah. And you saying all the stuff in a 5-minute video. But need I remind you, I look at it both ways. Some women can get a man by being approached, and some can get a man by being the approacher. And I don't think that makes you masculine in doing that. There is no such thing as a mind reader with men, but discernment. You can have discernment. I have discernment, especially if you're in touch with your spirituality, where you can tell what kind of person they are just by sensing their spirit. But as far as somebody being in a relationship or being tied to somebody, sometimes you'll know, sometimes you won't know. And I mean, if you approach a man and he's in a relationship, okay, you didn't know. But now you know, so you can either take how you want to take with that. But I'm just tired of this dating shaming that a lot of these YouTubers and gurus like to do with everyday women by saying you don't need to be approaching him, you the prize, you should let him approach you, and that's moving in your masculinity. But I'm like, that's easy for y'all to say, but y'all got a man already. It's like y'all are telling women that probably tried being approached and it didn't work, or they just weren't interested in the men that approached them and they figure they can go after what they want. And plus, I feel like if approaching a man is working for some women, then let them have it. Because I just get so tired of this one sided advice that a lot of people just want to give. Like, we live in a diversity era now. A lot of people are more open minded than, than they used to be about stuff. So, some men will like you approaching them and some won't. And it really depends on culture, how they were raised, and just how they perceive things. Now, with black men, from my experience, they'll take a woman either approaching them or not. White men, from my experience, they like to approach. Some they like you approaching them, but for the most part, the ones I've experienced, they like to be the ones to seek you out. Asian men. Now, Asian men, they live in a very collectivist culture, and depending on what country it is, it's kind of cold. I know with Indian men, they like to be the ones to approach, but I notice a lot of them, they tend to be nice and they let it go both ways sometimes. With like the East Asian men, they tend to be a little harder in their stances. So I think that they're the ones that would like to approach or be the approachers. Now with Southeast Asian men like your Filipinos, and then you move up to like the Middle East, they like to be the ones to approach and to be the ones that are in control per se. But some of them, they kind of play around with it a little bit, and I think some of them, they like to be, the ones that are approached or the ones that like to approach. Now, with Latin men, for the most part, from what I experienced in clubs and in person, they like to seek you out. They like to be the ones to talk first. And if they ain't interested, they ain't talking. And I'm not really generalizing these groups of men by me saying this, but that's just a commonality I've just noticed from talking and mingling with men from these different cultures. Now, I know everybody in those cultures does not act that way, does not talk that way, nor think that way, but a lot of times, a lot of people from certain cultures, especially, they have a certain way of running their families and running their home life. They're just going to go by the standard. And that's just what I've noticed with a lot of cultures of men. But I just really hate how hard it is to be in a relationship nowadays because it's not that easy. And then, since men are very visual, if you're not what they're looking for outwardly, then they're not going to be interested in you. And it's kind of confused me because back in the early 2000s and even mid, it was about being skinny. And now, due to, Nicki Minaj and Kim Kardashian, everybody getting butt and boob implants and all that stuff, the beauty standard has changed. Plus, even in the dating world, I've seen a lot of different couples. I've seen skinny men with big women, big men with skinny women, in between, muscular with short and tall, just different, combinations of people dating now. So it's not the beauty standard. I feel like it's not as strict as it used to be, and it's actually a lot easier for you to breathe and to be more of yourself in the dating space now. But I just feel like for me, I just don't know what it is with the men that I like to date and how I look and the kind of person that I am, because I just don't understand why I have to get hit with this standard or hit with this type of treatment where you're not interested, you don't want to talk, or us being together or whatever is so hard and so strained. But I'm willing and I'm open to be there and to be in the front and be in a relationship. And there's this hesitancy. And that's why sometimes I question myself a lot with, my body and my personality and stuff, because it's really hard to be told to love yourself and to like yourself. And when you're trying to fit in and be liked and loved by people, they're not accepting you for that. And then you find yourself, changing and talking different, dressing different, wearing your hair a different way. And I can honestly say I've been through a lot of phases in my life trying to get people to like me. I have bleached my skin because, being black and going to school in the hood and stuff, especially in the early mid 2000s, it was all about being light skinned and mixed. And I felt a lot of pressure and stuff back then. And now the color preferences aren't really that strict no more, because you see dark, light, white, and mixed in between being seen as attractive. But now I'm learning that everybody's not for you and every environment is not for you. And according to the environment and the people, that's just how they are. And those type of people are going to attract certain types of people to them. And by me being the person that I am, I need to get into a place where people like me go so I can attract the kind of man that I'm looking for. But with my mindset and me speaking the way that I am, it's not really matching because I've been single for about a year now. And being 25 years old, and I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, you're young, you got your whole life ahead of you and stuff." I really don't care about my whole life being ahead of me and stuff, because I hate how when you're in your 20s, people expect for you to be dumb, to be immature, to not know what it is that you want. And it's not fair that a lot of us sometimes feel like we have to dumb ourselves down because we may come off as too smart or too grown for our peers. And then the worst thing is, even dealing with older adults, they don't even want us thinking and acting like them. So they try to dumb us down to try to keep us in our place. And I'm like, I don't think like that. I don't think like everybody else. And I'm more of a positive thinker. And in the places that I work at, and I hate to kind of spray y'all Taco Bell and McDonald's, but y'all's environments are not the best. Like, I hate coming to work sometimes because I can't talk and be myself, because the people there, it's either their way or the highway. If you want to go into great detail about stuff, you getting cut off and being made to feel like they don't care, that it's not a big deal, it's other stuff to do. But when they talk about stuff and do stuff, oh, they got to have the attention on the floor. And I just don't like stuff like that. And I hate to say it, but in fast food environments especially, you have to deal with stuff like that, because these are environments where people are either not where they want to be in their life and they're on their way to get in there, or these are people that are just accepting their place and accepting things the way that they are, and they don't want nothing more or nothing better. And so I'm like, you know what? This is just, it's not for me. And so I'm learning now what it is that I like to do. I like Spanish. I want to be a Spanish interpreter. And that's what I'm working on right now, because that's what makes me happy. That's what makes me feel good. And I feel comfortable being in those environments from me volunteering. And so that's the realm I need to get into, because fast food is good experience for me from when I open up my own business. But as far as the people and stuff like that, I just can't deal with them. I'd rather come to work, do my job, say hey, and have small talk and go home. Because you're not finna dim my light and steal my peace, because I have had to have such high self esteem in these fast food places. And I've even had to pull managers to the side about talking to me crazy. And I've never worked in fast food where the disrespect is just so rampant like that. Like, and the managers, they're not even coming off nasty to me sometimes. I seen them almost haul off on the customers. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need to stay in this long, because I can already tell how this is going to go. And some people may say, oh, you being bougie and all that. No, I'm not being bougie. I'm just being a kind hearted person. And that just seems to be going out of style nowadays. Like, being nice and helpful and stuff is just seen as doing too much or just unnecessary. I'm like, and that's why y'all be so mean and mad all the time. And y'all be bitter. And then you want to gripe and cut somebody off and make somebody feel nasty like you. You don't want to make me feel nasty. I just want to talk to you and I tune you out. Sometimes older people think that because they're old, they know more what isn't. Yeah, exactly. And I had to tell my friend that the other day at work, because she was telling me that this older man that we work with keeps telling her what to do. I told her, I said, don't worry about it. I said, a lot of times older people, they think that because they're older, they can tell the younger people, what to do and how to act and stuff, because somebody did that to them. But older people, and I even feel this way, but I feel like, dude, I'm older. I have more life experience, which I do, than my coworkers in some instances. Because in some of my jobs, I'm like 5 to 10 years older than my coworkers, and they be trying to talk to me all crazy and stuff like that. And I'm like, no. But some older people don't understand. I'm talking about like grandma age type of older people. Y'all's time frame on respect and manners and stuff is almost non-existent in some areas in this generation. I'm not saying you should not teach respect or nothing like that, but it's a certain way you have to talk to this generation. And I've just learned that in this generation of young people, they've been raised to think that the world is just Candyland. When they hear any type of discipline, they don't want to hear it. They don't. They don't want to hear it. It's like the world is mine. I can have what I want, and who are you to tell me anything different? And that's just how it is now. When it comes to McDonald's, they got another thing coming for them, because when it comes to this coronavirus, it is real. And from a spiritual perspective, God is telling us that our time is winding down on this earth. I know everybody doesn't believe in God, everybody don't believe in Jesus, but he's coming back whether you believe in him or not. That's why all these earthquakes are happening, tornadoes are swirling. I even saw something in the news the other day about an earthquake jumping off. And then the coronavirus and stuff coming about. It's just like God is really trying to tell us, y'all down here acting crazy, but I'm getting ready to, kind of wipe y'all out. So y'all need to get it together before I come. And we're not hearing it. We're not hearing it. People still want to live crazy. They still want to, live in these disease infested areas and be with people that don't like them and be with people that don't think nothing of them and stuff. And I'm like, y'all is wasting y'all's lives into eternal damnation. And it's really sad that a lot of people living on this earth are going to die. And at the end of their life, they're going to realize they could have had so much better if they would have just did the right thing and listened to the people along the way that was trying to tell them, or pretty much lived in their purpose or did what they were supposed to do instead of trying to be the fun girl and the fun guy and just be in the know and stuff all the time. It's cool to have fun and to laugh and to be with good people, but I feel like everybody's put here for a purpose. And I feel like if everybody would just do their part, our world wouldn't be so jacked up the way that it is. So that's pretty much all I have from this mukbang. Now I know I haven't really done like a lot of TV show reviews. I'm just trying to change. My thumbnails are getting a lot better. My video quality has got better, especially now being in my room. But I really want to up my YouTube channel because I want to get it to the point where I can make tons of money off of it and not have to work. That's always been, my dream on YouTube. But, I'm just trying to see where I fit in. I would like to do more cultural stuff on YouTube and really expand my views on different things. And I really want to get away from kind of like Ratchet TV. Now, I look at Love and Hip Hop ATL and Miami for my leisure because those are the ones that I like. But that Jocelyn, I did get, behind due to me starting these 2 new jobs and school and stuff like that. So they had to be put on the back burner. But the ratchetness and the fighting and stuff, it's like it even bores me now just talking about it in front of the camera. And so I'm like, I need to, go on Netflix. I love Netflix. Netflix got some really good stuff. So, I like to go on Netflix and look at some different things, and then I would like to go, on different networks and, review those TV shows and stuff because it's fighting and arguing and baby daddy problems and all that kind of stuff. It just don't make any sense. And a lot of these women, they say men ain't ish and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, y'all keep going back to the same man that's cheating on you and having babies on you and you knowing it, and the dude defending you. So I'm like, why do you? And I know this stuff is made up and they're writing in the script, but I'm like, y'all need some new people on the team, or to throw some ketchup or Miracle Whip or something in there that's gonna give it some kick, because some of this stuff is kind of played out. And I feel like a lot of women in this era, from us with the different music eras about men and relationships and stuff, these are lessons we should have learned a long time ago. And that's why I'm kind of tired of seeing it. So that's pretty much the way that my channel is gonna go. I hope you guys wait, let me read your comment. It's all a matter of us finding our purpose because some of us go to our graves not fulfilling our purpose here. That's true. And I feel like a lot of us are not really taught sometimes how to fulfill our will, how to fulfill our purpose, and how sometimes some things in life are not for us and what is for us. Because I'm learning now that what's for me is for me. I can give it and share it and keep it if I want to. And I don't have to share it if I don't want to. And I feel like that's why it's important for us. Now, why is my shirt doing all this? Okay, I like the shirt, so I ain't gonna be pulling on it too much. But it's like a lot of us were not raised to think that we should have a purpose or a will or even a zest for life. We were just taught that you go to school, go to work, have babies, or You go to school, get a job somewhere, and live your life, and that's it. And it all depends on how we're raised, what we're exposed to, what we learn, and what we think, and having that willpower. I didn't learn that I had a willpower till I went to Las Vegas and lived with the other side of my family. That's how I realized the kind of power that I had, and it actually took the fear of traveling out of me because now I could travel with no issues. But I just feel like a lot of us need to learn how to live in our own purposes and our own wills because we just don't know how many blessings and stuff we're missing out on. But you have people who do live a will and whatnot, but due to culture and tradition, sometimes that's why it's not like that. Because based off of the men and the people that I've met throughout my life, whatever their culture or family says they should be, even if it's against their own will, that's what they're going to do. And if not, they'll get ostracized and kicked out and treated indifferently by their families. And some of us can do that and handle it, but a lot of us just can't. And unfortunately, that's some things that we just going to have to understand and deal with. Because if you can live your will and purpose, that's good. But if you don't want to live it out due to your family or your tradition or your culture, then that's just something you're gonna have to live with for the rest of your life. It works out for some, and then some, it's just something they have to, learn to live with, even though they don't like it. So I hope you all like this video. Don't forget to comment, leave a comment in the comment section, and have a good day.